I don't want that in my face. I don't like that in my face. Hello. I don't know where Doppelganger is. We planned to go on a date, and then I had a meeting I had to go to that turned out to be tomorrow night. So I was back by 8. So here I am on at 8. But the guy who was gonna, I know very little, just the bare bones of what's going on with Christine Chandler. And this fellow has been following her and her saga pretty closely since before this perverted I don't know what the fuck it was, PvCC, long before the CWC wiki, like in 2011 or 12 or something like that. So here we are, and we're going to talk about why the kiwi farms needs to be shut down and a number of them locked up, and how we're going to go about doing that. Turns out that the Tucson Police Department, if you watch the videos that I uploaded earlier, there's an investigator that's been on it since looks like Doppelganger might have shown up. He's back. Let me give him the link. And let me go light up the Discord server. Okay, now where's the fucking deco? Okay, the kids are getting like organized, and we're just gonna see what's happening. They're gathering in the group chats and hangouts. I'll give you the phone numbers and links to things you can have. Here's the Discord server. It's his live. Okay, it's going to take a little while for us to get like rolling, but this fellow says he has the full history of Chris Chan. But there are people that are calling him out on his. Looks like we're going to be canceling the original plan. What about someone's about to get blocked? Looks like we got a liar. I think this fellow's done. Even if he's not a liar. Oh, hi, Josh. No, it's not going to be a failed stream because he's not coming. Dude's about to get blocked. There's not going to be any insight on Chris. Turns out Doppelganger's full of shit. Tried to give me some bogus docs on Sneasel. I think it's time to block him. I think I got him blocked. I don't know about what's he using at Discord? Let's see if anything's cooking over here. No, it's all over here. So, Josh, you gotta know, you gotta wait for the investigator to contact you or your lawyer. It's time, pal. Calling the fire department was a big mistake. It could be that way. Oh yeah, totally bogus docs. He's some University of Rochester something. Sneasel, the most likely thing that Sneasel is a 20-something asshole that has a recent Bachelor of Arts in Business from the University of Michigan in Ann Arbor. His family lives nearby. He lives in mommy's basement and is unemployable. He had an internship right after he graduated and it just fell apart quickly. And he hasn't had a job since, according to his aunt, or somebody who was playing his aunt for my benefit. But basically, the fellow and most of all these guys, they're all book learned. They have absolutely no understanding. They have all these words in their head that they don't know what they mean. You know, there's no clubbing on those fingers. What are you, fucking nuts? You know, please. Well, I don't think so. I don't think so. I think that was bogus docs too. I think what's for real is he's mid-20s and he's an asshole that can't get a job because he's wasting all his time trolling people. When this first started, he was saying that he was in the computer lab downloading my videos. He graduated and had a job for a little while. Last fall, Josh and he were trying to get me on one of their mad at the internet things. What those guys don't understand is I'm not mad at the internet. Just the assholes that get up in my face and ruin my quiet enjoyment of the internet. send pizzas to my door, send the fire department to my door, make threatening phone calls and texts all day long. It won't do you any good, Josh. You own the site. You're going to jail, man. You want to give up, you probably you're gonna want to talk to Detective Hyde soon. By Monday, there's going to be something happen. Okay, that's for real. You heard the conversation with him. Antifa is not a terrorist organization. Antifa is not even an organization. There's no central committee. There's no leader. What you have is a bunch of people who are angry about fascism that want to do something about it. And those people are divided between the ones that are wanting to fight and the ones that are wanting to confront it nonviolently. Now, most of the ones I've met are that other sort and are modeling their cells platforms after the White Rose Society pamphlets. Here, Josh, go listen to it. Your site is inciting violence against me. That thread is all loaded with things that are not true about me. Everything they claim about me to be true is not. I can prove that all these things are not. And you're the one that is going to get held responsible for the libel, your company, because he's an employee of yours. So you might want to think about a plea deal, and you might want to turn in a bunch of them terrorists on your site. You want to be a good little fascist. But here, Josh, there's two of them. Of course, it's an hour long. One of them. There were three people I talked to today. The detective, a paralegal at a possible mass tort firm. $5 for this next month. My city council. What specifically is not true? Pedophile, dog fucker, grifter, and drove that person to suicide. I can think of right off the top of my head. I don't have COPD. I am no kind of child predator at all. Oh, that's just bullshit. Pure bullshit, man. I had nothing to do with the suicide of that woman. It happened months after the last time I had contact with her. Never really had that much contact with her. She did a job for me that I wasn't satisfied, and then she got angry when I said I wasn't satisfied. Well, see, violence doesn't need to happen to disrupt the fascist marching in the street because the cops are on it. When Patriot Prayer and the Proud Boys come, the proper response is to razz them. You don't fight with them. You ridicule them. Fighting with them gives them the spectacle that they're looking for. Let the cops do their job. Let everybody scream at each other and just make them look stupid. I cyberstalked who? I didn't cyberstalk anybody. You're telling me I cyberstalked a woman who killed herself? I'll see you in court, motherfucker. Seriously. You have no proof of any of these accusations. You're fucking pulling them out of the air. I have done nothing that is prosecutable on the internet. I have done nothing. The encounter with, no, fuck him. Fuck him. He's lying. He's a liar. Too late. He's out. He's out. Not welcome. So what? And no, I didn't. And Josh, it's really not that big a deal, okay? A lot of people masturbate their dogs. There just aren't many people that are honest about it, okay? So just fuck off with that shit, okay? You just a little pudgy little kid. How's your eater girlfriend's doing? Putting some weight on for you? Getting any? Or are you still an incel? Josh, lose it or get lost. You understand? The dog asked me to do it for her. Stupid fuck. It is very common for people to masturbate their dogs. Now lose it. Josh, just lose it. I'm not even gonna entertain that shit, you little punk. Guess what, Josh? One toke over the line, you're gone. Bye. Fuck you. No, absolutely not. I'm done. He lied to me. No more. He lied. He's a liar. Not happening. This is not going to happen. No, excuse me, I ain't mad at the internet. I have hundreds of friends who are like really, yeah, well, that's actually a real problem because the police and military both have been deeply infiltrated by the white nationalists. That's exactly it. They're trying to get me. They're trying to get me to talk to them. It's like, no, fuck you. You lied to me. Goodbye. Exactly. This is what my spirit guides have been telling me this for years. It's like, don't waste your energy on these people because they're not going to be here anymore when the world changes. And the world change is coming real soon. Very soon. I've been promised that by the end of 2020, there will be an appearance by the ascended beings, whatever you call them. I prefer ancient astronauts. This is the way pretty much the Bible was presented to me, was that it was written by a primitive people observing the doings of an advanced civilization. That's what how the Bible is described to us. Same with the gods and stuff of all the other legends. This was, and you can see it pretty clearly in the Native American legends because they haven't been watered down by imperialism and a bunch of bullshit lies, like the Judeo-Christian scriptures have. Isabel Rose, I don't know who you're talking about there. Well, I'm not really a pacifist either, but I'm going to exhaust all nonviolent means of conflict resolution, and I need to be attacked before I'll respond with violence. I will not get violent over somebody's rhetoric. That's not legal. Okay? If you think their rhetoric is crossing the boundaries of the Brandenburg test, call a cop. Don't punch a Nazi. Nonviolence protects the people from violent people like you. When we go into the state assembly and work with the lawmakers to make the laws we want, which is the way this country is supposed to work. And I've been about this since 1960s, man. I've seen it. I've seen it work, and I've seen it not work when you throw fucking rocks and bottles at cops. Can't convince me after 55 years of nonviolent civil disobedience of doing any way that I other than the way I've been doing it, man. You just can't. No, nobody ever has been able to. And a deep price. I'm not sure who you mean. I'm at a point where I don't believe fucking anything at all. Nothing from anybody. You're all full of shit. You're all a bunch of fucking liars lying for fun. Sick and fucking tired of it. Yeah, right? Which one is the insurrectionary anarchist? As is the, you're welcome to your opinions. I'm not getting behind them. So I never would. I don't know who you're talking about. I really have no idea. Isabel Rose is not ringing a bell. Let's see what the assholes have to say today. Oh, I need to put that up. Oh, idiots. They see some matching symptoms in the books, and therefore I have COPD. I don't wheeze all the time. It's a come and go thing, and it starts in my sinuses and moves down to my throat, and I cough it up. KiWi's not working real well tonight. Oh, there it is. No, this is Tommy just does blowing somebody off. What idiots. Just total fucking idiots. Okay, that's nice. Are you the one that Timmy Time introduced me to? I don't remember you. I'm sorry. "11 years of organized cyberstalking. Well, if you'd like to talk about it, I got a detective that's like on it. You know, if any of you think you got something you can add to this, call up 520 791 4441. Ask for Hyde in West Ops. And you want to talk about cyberstalking and cyberbullying, cyber terrorism, however you want to characterize it. Targeted harassment is what they call it at Twitter. Oh. No, you twat. My address and phone number are common knowledge because I'm running an art gallery here, fuckstain. I want people to know. Unfortunately, you know, psychopath. I can't stop psychopaths. So if you psychopaths have something you want to do with my phone number and address, just fucking do it. Eventually, you're gonna go down. They've been investigating this for real since February. There's just nothing they can do because they can't find anybody. They find, of course, I don't know why they just don't shut the site down and take null. Let him start squealing on everybody. So we got some Okay, we got all sorts of weird people here. I'm just gonna let you guys play. You know, if anybody wants to call me, I have very little to say to any of this at this point. You know, I'm just an old hippie artist. Victor, you better like chill that shit because I'd rather not be like even you know, YouTube wants to block that. Yeah, just try to be nice. You know, we're I'm old hippie. You know, this is a peace loving music channel, man. I'm not here to fight with fucking gamers at all. I'm sick and fucking tired of gamers intruding into my life with a bunch of bullshit fantasies that they're projecting at me, saying it's me. It's gonna stop. It's gonna really fucking stop. By Monday, there's gonna be something happen. If the cops don't do it, I will. Of course, it might not happen Monday if I have to do it, but I'll know if I have to by Monday. And I should also know if I have to do it alone by Monday. So I talked to my city councilman and I talked to an attorney that possibly could take it, or possibly could at least let me book some time and have them help me compose it. That's where I'm at. I could even unblock Null. What the fuck are back in here? Of course, I don't know how. Here we go. We'll let the asshole back in. You're unblocked for a while now, but this is the way it is. I'm not a pedophile. I'm not a dog fucker. I'm none of those things, and I'm not going to respond to any of the accusations that KiWi Farms is making about me. KiWi Farms needs to respond to the accusations people are making about you. You're now up to 10 people that the world is claiming were driven to suicide by harassment by you fucking cucks. How do you respond to that, Josh? Well, you know, Prime Minister, that's understandable. They do and they don't. In Detroit, for instance, they maintained the traffic flow. They kept people off each other. That's what the police are supposed to do. It looked to me like that's what they did in Portland too. I don't know. I didn't see enough of that. So, but that's what the cop's job is. They're not supposed to favor anybody. They're supposed to maintain everybody's freedom of access to the public event, make sure things keep moving, make sure there ain't no fights. That's what they're there for. And they've been doing a pretty good job. They did a very good job during Pride Month. Okay. They fucked up a few times, like Charlottesville. They were in on that for sure. It is a big problem. There's been a lot of infiltration of white nationalists into the police departments all over the country. There was somebody noticed when the Jewish kids from If Not Now jumped up about the ICE detention centers and started, a bunch of them got busted there. There's a picture of one of them putting a Jewish girl in handcuffs with all sorts of fucking white power tattoos all over his arm. That was noticed by a lot of Jews. Lots and lots of Jews noticed that shit. So, you know, we're aware of how bad it is. And we still believe in the nonviolent, you know, as long as they stay within the framework of the law, they're allowed to say these things. You are not allowed to beat them up for saying them. That's what the First Amendment's about. What's this all about? I got into a discussion the other day. Let's see if this has anything to do with me. I don't think so. I think in this particular one, yeah. All I had to say here was give them some historical background about the reality of, these people are talking about it, this transgender phenomenon, and then, people, social contagion and all that happy horse. My answer to that, it's no different today than it was thousands of years ago. A small percentage of the population is born gender variant and or same-sex attracted. And really only the mighty white European Judeo-Christian imperialist settler colonialist culture enforces a strict heteronormative sex gender binary to such an extent as to attempt to exterminate this natural born minority. Most indigenous cultures and ancient societies at least tolerated same-sex attraction and gender variance. Many elevated gender variants to positions of high esteem as priests and shamans, and still do. In America, when gender variant people live in a supportive environment, they almost always excel at something. You can all thank Lynn Conway for a key core component, microprocessor in all your digital communications device. As we exist because we were born this way. Your Christian whiteness is a choice. We won't be erased. So let me see if this is, because this is like really weird. Yeah, I think the dude was referring it to me. So let me read the rest of this. So here comes Chuckles. Somebody behind me, behind that someone come up behind that statement I made and said, "Bro, that's straight facts." And I said to him, "I tried, but I'm not male, so please don't call me bro." And then somebody comes in behind that and asks, "What two sex chromosomes do you have?" And I told him to go study some current understanding on the subject, douche canoe. I do not have to validate myself to any moron who believes completely discredited and only two genders theory. So here comes this Rick Valentino. That's ridiculous. It's great, people. Isn't real life. What does he want? Greased up, half-naked men at a gay parade, gyrating and doing borderline orgies? That's his preferred reality, I guess. And I asked him, "Are you directing your own personal fetishes and fantasies at me? I'm a monogamous, heterosexual, transgender female. Do you have some specific issue with my particular lifestyle choices?" Yeah, that one goes over. People, most of us are just regular people with the same kinds of hopes and dreams as anybody else. We're just like not the same as far as our sexuality or our gender identity. It happens. It's it's a natural thing, and people need to understand that it's a natural thing and back the fuck off. There is no debate here. There is no legitimate debate because you cannot disqualify us for on the reasons that you're claiming to, because they aren't valid. We're born this way. Fuck off with your bullshit about lifestyle choices. People are born this way. People are born with a genetic potential to behave in a certain fashion. Then you build it out, then the construct starts. It's nature plus nurture. It's not nature or nurture. It's both. You start out, you're given a set of instructions that your body works on, and then you go with it. And so, my life would have been totally different if I'd been allowed to be a little girl instead of forcing me to be a little boy. Totally different. And this is being proven in the clinical studies of these kids that are being socially transitioned young. Incredible successes. As opposed to like all the madness that my generation went through. No excuse for this debate anymore. I'm okay, thanks, Rich. You want to explain this crap, Ron? I don't hide in my apartment. It's not a shithole. And I got my feet on the ground. It's things that are happening here. Excuse me. No, excuse the fuck out of me. Oh, okay. Okay. I thought, because that's what they're always telling me. They call my place a shithole, and I don't do anything but sit here and rage at the internet. That's bullshit. Oh, okay. Doggo beats up trash cans, son. Throw bricks at cops and KiWi fast. No, we want to, I found out a long time ago, you don't want to fight with the cops. You want to work with the cops. You want to work with, thanks, man. You want to work with the cops. You want to work with City Hall as much as you can. You don't want to fight against them. Thank you, M. Kind. But you really don't want to fight against them. It always works out better when you work with them, compromise with them, follow their instructions, do what they want you to do, and then they're going to do their jobs the way you want them to do the jobs and not be all up in everybody's shit the whole weekend. Okay, somebody's being funny and playing something I can't even see. Where's that playing?
Grab your angel wings and your sack of cocaine and make sure there is plenty of room in your bag for blades. Not the kind of blades you use to shave your legs, but the kind of blades that created the 90s craze.
Where's that coming from?
The chubby buff with AIDS right behind the legs.
It's a Discord. Fuck that place. Portland is a shithole. I don't lick anybody's boots. I'm just telling you the way it is, the way I've always been. It's that we need to work with the authorities. The authorities are supposed to be working for us. And when we do, there's a certain amount of like submission that we need to give to the authorities to make sure things keep operating smoothly. Okay, bye, man. I don't give a fuck. Yeah, I'm trying to get the cops to do their job to get rid of like a criminal blight on the internet. You have one more chance to like back off or you're disappearing. I have no use for somebody like that. The cops happen to watch out for me in the street. Let me know when there's shit about to come down in my face that they heard about. Let's see what's this. Oh, and Sneasel, that plan for Spotify. Here's what they said back. Hello there. Thanks for getting in touch and letting us know about this. We are totally against discrimination and cyberbullying here at Spotify. Don't worry, while we technically won't be able to touch things for now, and it's not on Spotify yet, we can assure you that we're always here and we're only an email or chat away. If you ever heard your music illegally uploaded on our platform, whether exactly as is or a mix of it, just let us know and we'll immediately do all we can to assist you. You can't steal my music and run it at Spotify clowns. Good. Okay, so what's going on here? But nobody said anything for a little while. 4 minutes without anything. 21 people here, not 4 minutes, and you haven't said a fucking word. What is this shit? Josh. It's the other way around, stupid. He's cyberstalking me. I get up out of bed, I come to my terminal, I work for a few hours, I go out for a few hours, I come back, work for a few hours, go out for a few hours. I don't stalk anybody. Sneasel, and there's several people. It's not just Sneasel. Go ahead. You advise Sneasel. I'd advise you both to. I'd advise you both to lawyer up. That's what I advise you both to do. There's crime there. TPD agrees that there's crime, and they've spent a lot of money now responding to this shit. I think somebody, I'm going to get to the city. I'm going to I already talked to the city council about it. We'll see where it goes from there. I haven't bothered the city council with it. But we're at a point where the Tucson police has admitted that they are incompetent to do anything. They know there's a crime. There's people they want to take into custody for it, and they can't find them. So you go get your restraining order. Restraining orders don't really work that way. Well, I know they've been doing that for that long. As well he should, because he's going to die in prison. No, he's out there lying. He's spreading libel about me. And he's afraid for his life? Maybe it's because he knows he's libeling me. I don't trust anybody to do anything. I'm not trusting in the police. They're going to tell me Monday that they can't do anything, and I'm going straight from there to the court, or at least to somebody, an attorney that can help me take it to the court. Well, this is past the cops at this point. I have evidence that says that the TPD is corrupt. Evidence that has never been properly looked at from two different people that are saying that the TPD is providing protection for the movement of mass quantities of contraband through here. You want to come on camera and talk, Ron? Who's Hypatia? No, these guys are just protecting the movement of contraband through here. And there's a lot of sex slavery. Whole lot of sex slavery involved. These kids are disappearing. They're disappearing into sex slavery. Hypatia was a famous transgender woman. Hypatia Lee, I think her name was. And there was a Hypatia of Alexandria. Yeah. But I guess it's not the same person. Hypatia Lee. Cherokee. I was a porn star, but I think it's cisgender. She was a porn star in Nude Galaxy and Hypatia Lee. Musician. She played did some music, wrote a couple of books, had 2 kids, retired in 1993, and remarried and had another kid, and she's still alive. So who was, I'm trying to think Tiresias. It was the famous transgender one. No, Josh, we're not talking about me tonight, Josh. Tell us about the fat chick that you feed. Better still, Josh, tell us about the oil drilling guys who give you money. Or how about that's a good one. Well, we had a problem. The fellow that was going to do that, I decided was a liar, and I blocked him. So we're not going there tonight. Yeah, the guy said, oh no, I was commenting on how ridiculous it is for people to be against the parade. Not directed at you at this video in the top comment. Protesting just makes people who profess tolerance only tolerant for themselves, but expect society to be tolerant of them. Very hypocritical. Which, yeah, on you know, demanding tolerance when they're being intolerant of something. Yeah, that is hypocritical. And yeah, they, you know, people get too committed to their belief systems and their platforms and won't compromise, and that's wrong. 20 people dead in Bermuda, and Dorian totally fucked up Abacoa and Grand Bermuda. Totally fucked them both up, and they're both big resort islands. Supposedly half the structures are gone on both islands. American Navy and British Navy, they're all going there. Of course, I don't know. Douchebag. Oh, Trump did another stupid, and then he tried to cover it up by breaking the law. That's our president. He said that Alabama was going to get hit by Dorian, and the Weather Service said no. And then he tried to support it by showing a doctored map, which is totally illegal. You know, people just immediately jumped up with the statues. So that's our president. Tanks in the streets, man. The day they roll a tank out in the street is the day I'll be there and let them blow me away first. Otherwise, I believe in the framework of our body of law. You're probably very, very young, but I remember what I was doing, exactly what I was doing when I found out there was a coup d'etat in my country. And I've been committed to, you know, the system itself is fine. There's no better system than the one we have anywhere. You cannot show me a better system, but it's been corrupted, and we the people need to take it back. And we cannot take it back by armed insurrection. We will lose. I swear to that. We got to take it back from the inside. And the only way to take it back from the inside is dance and do the dance, just like AOC is doing the dance, man. I suppose you're going to tell me that the what do they call them? The squad. You're going to tell me the squad's full of shit? Oh, did Josh buy millennial turkeys? Josh, I hear you got a couple of minutes of Sabrina now. Josh, Pie Man denies ever because he's an asshole. And he was talking to no, not right. Well, yeah, we could. Who wants? I'll light up the voice chat at Discord, sure. But Josh, you own millennial turkeys now, you fool. They're gonna be fun. I can't wait to see the look on your face when you're sentenced, motherfucker. I really can't wait to see the look on your face. How old are you, Josh? 24? Who's calling? Okay. Hi. I'm here. Hello.
Hey, what's going on today?
Oh, are you watching?
Real quick.
Okay.
You wanted to know about Christian.
Well, this fellow doppelganger was lying to me. The person currently claiming to be the real D Price, I don't know if she really is or not, is trying to outporting the alt-right, not tracking. It's illegal. If you want to talk about
report what stuff? What stuff is being reported?
Oh, he had a. Let me see if I get you the link that she gave. Oh, I closed that because somebody was trolling the troll. Somebody started a video that I couldn't find at the Discord, and it was playing through my, and I just killed the. But what she had was a link to something that she said he's been uploading, and he said he was too, that he was collecting all these things by all these weird right wingers, but he is saying that he was re-uploading it all over the place. So I don't know, and I'm like this. He was too sketchy. He was way too sketchy, and I have at least 150 people in my life that have been there for a long time before Facebook.
Okay? Yeah, I dropped out of the call there for a second. I just want to know, why'd you let that girl die in your backyard? Why'd you finger your dog? And why'd you take a heroin? Why'd you take a drugs? Why do you give a shit about? Why are you so scared to know? If he's just an alt-right Nazi incel, why are you so fucking scared of him? Just bring your faggot on screen and say you're not mad at the internet. Come on, it'll make good content. Come on.
You're an idiot, like the rest of them. I did these things because I did them. And you have a problem with it because you have no lives. So block and report this one. Bye. Who's next? Who's next? I got plenty of weed. Got a nice cold drink, plenty of weed. Got my keyboard here. These are intellectually incompetent people. They're lowlives. Why are you attacking me, Josh? What have you got? You're just a little pervert. You're a 20-nothing punk who lives in your mother's basement, sucks off the world. You're grifting to get people to support your bad habits. The fuck is wrong with you, Josh? You're a fucking loser. You're a 24-year-old loser. You're a fat kid, little pudgy kid living in his mother's basement. How's your zits? Let's see, Josh. You're just an idiot. Oh yeah, I gotta check and see if that idiot. Josh, I'm old enough to be your grandmother, you little idiot. My day was pretty good, thanks, Moshe. Bob Dog, is there some reason why you want to get like bounced from here forever again? My grandmother was a piano teacher, Mike, and before we could even walk or talk, she'd have us in her lap, hitting our hands. She taught us how to play chopsticks when we were like infants. I always took lessons. I was never very good. I played in the school band all the way through college. I've been on the street ever since. I walked out of my only professional recording engagement because it just didn't feel right. Yeah, well, you know what? You're gonna need to give me a reason not to at this point. I don't need a fuckhead around here. I really don't need fuckheads around here, right? It's hard for me to, I don't really know how to play a piano. Anything that sounds like music is just coming out of my head, and I don't really know what I'm doing. Put $20 in my PayPal, Josh, and I'll be glad. I'll take $10 request, man. $10. I forgot what I was saying. Oh, favorite instrument. I always loved the saxophone. You are a terrorist, Josh. Your whole site is fucking. You're on the fucking SPLC terrorist list, dude. Let's see it. I'll block. I'll block anybody you want for $5. Seriously, you want people blocked? $5. $5. Yeah, I love the saxophone. I always loved jazz. I can try. It's getting a little late, so I can't do it long. But I'll bust the horn out and bring out the book. Let's see what. Bob Dog, you're probably not going to last the night. I don't like your action. I don't like your fucking attitude at all. Got my new shopping cart today. I got to put it together. My little old lady cart. It's got these cool stair climbing wheels. I needed to go to the laundromat, but I'll probably start taking it out on the street so I can take my jewelry with me. Let's see what I can pull out of here for you in the way of real tunes. I hardly ever play a whole tune. So I hate it. I hate hearing it because I got no accompaniment. It doesn't sound right to me. This is the B flat book. That's the B flat book. Let's just get this thing warmed up first. That'll work. Clean up the reed so it doesn't get gummed up. Reed's nice and crisp. And I think we'll start with an easy one. That almost sounds good on the horn alone. This is one of the first tunes I ever learned. Even this was like, fuck, 1968 maybe, 66. It came out. Yeah, somewhere in there. I learned it in elementary school. See, that's why you can't play that, because there's no accompaniment. It makes no sense without the accompaniment. I think this one works all the way through. It's called Alice in Wonderland by Sammy Fain and Bob Hilliard. 1961 for Walt Disney movie. Music company. I think this was from the cartoon. Okay. Okay. What else does this in here? I need, I need some water. No schedule. No schedule. I can never keep a schedule. Where's Autumn Leaves? That one works, I think, pretty well. No, fuck it. Fuck this. I don't like playing out of the book when I'm not rehearsed in front of people for just that reason. Horns start giving me shit. And so, let's check on something real quick. Something tells me I'll bet. Yes, I have family. Most of them are dead. My immediate family is all still alive. And one of my father's brothers. I have an older brother, younger sister, that are 3 years apart, and 91-year-old parents. And my pleasure. I'll work some up. Well, you know, I just haven't been practicing on the book for a long, long time. There's a lot of tunes that I like to play, and some of them come out nice. And yes, I have family. We don't get along real well. My father doesn't like me at all, and never will. Hopefully, things will get better over time. My mother and I try, but the rest of the family, they're all up in their own little worlds, and my world's not part of it. Josh, since you sent the PayPal, you sent it to the wrong address. Or nothing here. Nobody sent me anything. I guess as long as I'm here, I might as well make my payment for the month. Oh, I probably better not do that until I pay my electric bill. Yeah, we better block this bitch. Okay, we did block that bitch. Yeah, sorry this didn't work out the way I thought, but the person that was going to give me the interview decided that he was a liar and he blew his cover. Oh well. You're reported, dude. You're totally reported. This is Yeah, you really, how dare you? How fucking dare you? I should show it, but I'm not going to. Josh never sent anything. Are you kidding? It's just a fucking liar. Little pudgy kid. They pick on you when you're a little kid, Josh? Is that why you're such a fucking little Hitler now? Josh, there was no payment. Go fuck off. Go play with some Nigerian 419 guys. Josh, people have been coming at me like you have for longer than you've been alive, you stupid little putz. Thanks, Moshe. I'm a gonzo journalist. If people didn't hate me, I wouldn't be doing my job right. No, and I've always counted it in yeah. Josh, you didn't send any money. There is nothing in my PayPal. If you sent money to anybody that you thought was me, it wasn't me. Would you like to see a screenshot of my PayPal right now, this minute? Like fucking idiots. You think I'm stupid? The $20 never came. I never saw it. You lying sack of shit. Probably not. Would you guys? Well, I need to deal with this Ferguson plane bullshit. You're not Ferguson Plain, whoever the fuck you are. You're not Ferguson Plain. Ferguson Plain would never say such a thing to me. I think we better just block that guy before he figures out how to get something in without. Oh Jesus, Josh, bye. You're done. You're just whoever you. If you're really Josh Moon, I'll be surprised that he's such an idiot. Goodbye. You're done. Where's this other idiot? This is not Ferguson Plain. His daughter's funeral is today. He's not here watching this. Disgusting creatures. But really disgusting. I really feel sorry for these people when God comes home. I really, really feel sorry for people. Josh is done. And where's this Ferguson Plain one? Yeah, that wasn't the real Josh. I highly doubt that was the real Josh. I think Josh knows better than to try and broach the subjects that one was doing. Let's find out. Whereas the real Josh is at KiWi Farms for sure. Let's see if he's talking in any of these thread about this. He was there earlier. Yeah, they're having an active chat there. Um, I wasn't trolled into doing so. Well, I was asked to play some jazz, which I did. Josh asked me to play Three Blind Mice. With the fake Josh asked me to play Three Blind Mice, so I didn't. So we'll give you an autistic for that one. Get lives, children. Is the real Josh available? He's welcome to come and talk. You give me a call. Anybody can give me a call. You know, it's real easy to get a fake number. You just use Google Internet call, and they'll give you a fake number every time that the cops can't trace. What one girl's dad showed up and lit Tom up because he got real meek and scared. Don't know what it was about though. The fuck are you talking about? Idiots. Sadomasochistic voyeurs. Yeah, hasn't it been? Somebody have a problem with the audio? We try to keep a nice crowd around here, but you have to understand that I have haters. I have some dedicated haters. Not much I can do about it. We'll do the best we can. We'll do the best we can. I just don't. I don't know. Okay. What's this? That's why it went south, man. There are two people blocked in the other one. I can unblock them, but I'll remove them. And on archive and doppelganger, and on archive is straight up Kiwi farmer. I don't know what doppelganger strip is, but I don't want anything to do with it. That's where that's at. I'm talking to Doc Holliday. Now he's been cool with me for a number of months. You walked in on a shit show. Doppelganger and a non-archive have been busted. Please dump them both from both places, from both of the. I want them both gone from. One gone from here, and there's two people in here that I've got blocked. Yeah, see, he's calling me Tom. No, no. Until he's gone from the group, nothing to do with it, pal. He called me Tom. He's gone. Gone. Or I'll just leave. I will just leave, yes. That wasn't even null. Seriously, it's 9:44. If he has not been blocked from those two groups, I'm leaving him. I'm not kidding. He's obviously an enemy. He's referring to me as he and Tom. Get rid of that fuckhead. Let's see what's happening at oh, I closed the the Discord must be totally nuts. Let's go see what the Discord's doing. I had to close it because there was something playing and I couldn't find it, and I just closed the whole tab and it went away. Someone added a music bot to my server. Fucking assholes. Chosenite was made a moderator. Oh, it's Chosenite did that. Bye, Chosenite. You're dead. You're done. That's who did that. Yep, thanks, D. Appreciate it. That's where that comes from. What the fuck is wrong with you children? Yeah, what the hell is wrong with these children? I mean, really, what did I do to deserve kids like that? Hi, Donald. Yeah, it's been pretty wild. I thought it was gonna do. I know. There's no show for me to go to. There's a problem. And I talked to somebody and I need to get in. There's no synagogue nearby. It's a problem. No, I did was be me, Am. All I did was be me. That's all I've ever done. And Barbie, the way to ask, the most polite way to ask is, how do you identify? Or what are your pronouns? No, she was asking Rich. I cop to being, I call myself a transgender woman. I don't want to be mistaken for a cis woman because I'm not a cis woman. I'm female, but we have different characteristics when we're females with penises than a woman with. Okay, what's a chan? You know, what does that mean? It has something to do with Chris Chandler. As far as I know, I thought that was where Chan came from. Let's see what else is fucking idiots. No, nobody. Oh, it's Sneasel. Spotify said forget it. If I see it, it's done. It's gone. I have some Fig Newtons. It's my favorite. people, a lot of people report that, Rich. Are you taking HRT? My experience for the last 4 years is has been the smooth my emotions out. My moods are much more stable. I don't fly off the handle very easily at all anymore. Well, Giselle, most of the lolcows I have contacted are not mentally competent to participate for some reason or another. And certain ones, like, now I haven't tried to contact Brianna Wu, but when I tried to approach like Nina and Phil and Greta, they just freaked out on me. And Zinnia and Sophie were too cool to respond at all. They're gonna be real surprised when they get an invitation that they can't turn down to come to it. So I'm going in looking for a RICO investigation on the whole schmear. But you know, I can show how I've been tracked on the internet and interfered with on the internet since 1999, and the same people doing it since 2010. So, and those people, I can show direct ties of those people to the federal government. So these are contractors, government defense contractors that are chasing me. Amber Lynn Reed. I don't know her. About what? The police are. I have no reason to call the police tonight at all. Please don't even ask me to call the police. You know, I'm here, and anybody who wants to connect with me, I'm going to be filing for class status. When I file, I'm filing against the police for discrimination and not, you know, it's civil rights complaint against the police and the FBI and negligence and all sorts of shit against the hosts. Scattered is a mild thing, you know. A lot of these people are like way weird, and it wouldn't be in my best interest to like have any direct contact with them. You know, better better that I stick with the people that I know are competent. I have a few competent people. If this person who is the real D price is really the real D price, that's one. And then there's what's her name, Marissa, is another one. And I don't know about Sam, but I probably get Sam on board. Some people around him or her, I don't know, you know, wherever they're at these days. Am I gonna? Yeah, sure. What do you want? What I'm gonna do? I have to make up a bunch of these for. I got to make up a bunch of drops. I have no idea. I haven't talked to her for months, which is probably means she's doing okay, because she hasn't been online complaining about shit. She's an artist. She's a musician, and she's doing her thing. A Tommy T-shirt. Yeah, well, you know, they claim to be doing all sorts of things with my intellectual properties and my image on shirts and shit already. I'm working on doing a CD, and I'm gonna want to set it up so that, like, you know, $10 tip gets one of these in the mail. That's what I want to try. It's the CD, or you know, $10 for the CD or $10 for one of these in the mail. That's what I want to try and sell. Who's Tommy Lynn? Tommy Jane. Who's Tommy Lynn? And I'm a hostess. What did you have in mind? You know, I Real Things is about that. I do what I do, and other people bring other things to it. I don't have anybody to like really handle my marketing. I have a lot of things that can be moved on the web already without cutting the. You know, all I really need to do is like take a few hours and put together the CD and burn a bunch, and I'm ready to rock. You know, what do you have in mind, Giselle? No, no, no. Thank you. No, please. I'm not Tommy Lynn. Just Tommy. If you don't like Jane, just Tommy. No, please. No. No, I don't want to see it ever again. I don't want to hear it ever again. Please. What's a RWDS? Yeah, where's my Tarzan? I want a Tarzan. Where's Tarzan with a mangina? Yeah, it's what's so hard. You know, what's so hard about understanding that some women have penises and some men have vagina? Oh, let's make a militia, ladies militia. Let's go to no. I you know, you want to can we get an HH? I don't know. Ask. A and B says they got T-shirts. They got T-shirts. Oh boy, what's the HH? Oh man, I just don't know anymore. I just so oh 88. How have gotcha. Thank you. Thank you. That's kind. I think. I hope. I don't know. For all I know, I'm being played, and everybody's laughing at me. Oh boy. Uh, no, I am very solidly committed to uh, nonviolence. I'm not pacifist, but I'm very solidly committed to nonviolence. Since they want me to repeat Nazi sayings, let me tell you where the real Antifa is coming from. Let me read some real anti-fascist stuff for you. The original, the real deal. Here's the 4 leaflets. You want to hear how I feel about fascism? There's what I feel about fascism. I know, my smile in my eyes. I have to keep smiling or I look too much like a guy. As soon as I stop smiling, it's like, oh, there's a dude. Okay, well, there were 4. Let me give you some background on these guys. It was basically a college professor and his students in 1942 published some pamphlets. And about 9 months later, they were all rounded up and executed. So here's the first leaflet. This is the White Rose Society's statements. Nothing is so unworthy of a civilized nation as allowing itself to be governed without opposition by an irresponsible clique that has yielded to base instinct. It is certain that today, every honest American is ashamed of his government. I'm sorry, I'm going to change it. I'm going to change some names here. Who among us has any conception of the dimensions of shame that will befall us and our children when one day the veil has fallen from our eyes and the most horrible of crimes that infinitely outdistance every human measure, reach the light of day? Now, he hasn't started the mass murder yet, but it's certainly heading there. If the German people are already so corrupted and spiritually crushed that they do not raise a hand, frivolously trusting in a questionable faith in lawful order in history, if they surrender man's highest principle, which raises him above all God's other creatures, his free will, if they abandon the will to take decisive action and turn the wheel of history, and thus subject it to their own rational decision, if they are so devoid of all individuality, have already gone so far along the road toward turning into a spiritless and cowardly mass, then yes, they deserve their downfall. Goethe speaks of the Germans as a tragic people, like the Jews and the Greeks. But today it would appear rather that they are a spineless, willless herd of hangers-on, who now, the marrow sucked out of their bones, robbed of their center of stability, are waiting to be hounded to their destruction. So it seems, but it's not so. Rather, by means of a gradual, treacherous, systematic abuse, the system has put every man into a spiritual prison. Only now, finding himself lying in fetters, has he become aware of his fate. How much of this is there? Oh, it's not that long. Only a few recognize the threat of ruin. There's a lot more than a few recognizing it coming here. And the reward for their heroic warning was death. I'm ready. Any day's a good day to die. Just make it for the right reasons. We will have more to say about the fate of these persons. If everyone waits until the other man makes a start, the messengers of avenging nemesis will come steadily closer. Then even the last victim will have been cast senselessly into the maw of the insatiable demon. Therefore, every individual conscious of his responsibility as a member of Christian and Western civilization must defend himself against the scourges of mankind, against fascism and any similar system of totalitarianism. Offer passive resistance. Resistance wherever you may be. Forestall the spread of this atheistic war machine before it's too late, before the last cities like Cologne have been reduced to rubble, and before the nation's last young man has given his blood on some battlefield for the hubris of a subhuman. Do not forget that every people deserves the real regime it is willing to endure. So we should repeat that. That, one bitch about Trump. If you're willing to endure it, you deserve it. You got to do more than bitch about it. He needs to be taken out of office. And to do that, we need to stay after our elected officials to take him out of office. And here's an excerpt from Friedrich Schiller, Law Giving of Lycurgus and Solon. Viewed in relation to its purposes, the law code of Lycurgus is a masterpiece of political science and knowledge of human nature. He desired a powerful, unassailable state firmly established on its own principles. Political effectiveness and permanence were the goals toward which he strove, and he attained this goal to the fullest extent possible under the circumstances. But if one compares the purpose Lycurgus had in view with the purposes of mankind, then a deep abhorrence takes the place of approbation, which we felt at first glance. And this is just getting too thick. Nobody wants to hear this shit. I don't want to read it. But that you get the idea. What's going on here? We have a notification. Anybody know ADN 8? What does that mean? He wants to know, how does it feel knowing you've accomplished absolutely nothing since transitioning? And my question was a serious question. How does it feel to be fantasizing ridiculous things about somebody old enough to be your grandmother, you ridiculous twat? Hey, what the fuck is wrong with these kids? What do I need to accomplish at my age? Anyway, well, what's important? I'm okay. I do my thing. I'm real good at doing my thing, and I do my thing, and I'm much happier than I was hiding behind a beard. So what's your fucking problem, kid? Jeez, what the fuck is wrong with people anyway? What exactly? God, I hope you're wrong, Mayman. I really hope you're wrong about that. Mamzer is Yiddish for bastard. Somebody accusing Militant again? Rich, I don't think we need that kind of talk in here. Militant is a little weird sometimes, but he's cool. Tom Hartman. Was that Mary Hartman's husband? No, I'm not the same as Barbie. I don't. No, I don't. No, I'm a two-spirit. I'm a trans feminine male. My sex is male. My gender is female, but my sex is male. I won't join that argument with people. Transgender woman is not the same as a cisgender woman. I'm not gonna go there. I just won't go there. I'm not. I can't justify it in myself. I'm not gonna argue with anybody making the claim on the transgender side. And I'm gonna stand up for the idea that a person's sex does not determine their gender, and some people are cross fucking wired, and it's been proven by medical science. So fuck off with your fucking debate points, because it's bullshit. It's not real. It's not real. See what else is going on here. Did I vote for Trump? Of course not. Republican for a queer for Trump is like a cockroach for raid, or a woman for rape. Tucking for a bikini. Yeehaw. Oh, wait, what's this shit? Barbie. The hot tip is don't bother tucking and get a skirt. Get a skirt for the bottom. So wear a skirt. I don't have a bikini. I got a one piece with a skirt. That's cool, and you can't tell. It is a safe zone, Barbie, but we generally don't even go to those areas here. Well, no, that's not where it's at. It's just some of the people don't like the open discussions that you're having. I have a lot of people in my stream that are cisgender and don't really understand it. And I would prefer that kind of conversation. We wanna keep that kind of conversation out of the general public, because there are people that might be children. There might be children with some of the people watching. I have a lot of friends who have queer kids. So like anything that's getting too explicit, take that to the side, okay? I mean, I sometimes talk about things like that, but I get too much pushback. I get too much negative feedback about, hey, that was too much information. Well, here we are. Where are you at, Rich? I can, tell me how do you identify, and what are you looking for, and I'll see and where are you? I have contacts all over, and I know how to look for stuff. I know how to hit up the indexes for. You tell me where you are, and I'll find the closest advocates and stuff to you. I'm like the queer yenta. It's like, where are you? You're all isolated. You need a queer friend. Let me go find who's close to you. Look at these people. If I unlock you, I'm going to just remove you and then block you again. So why don't I do that? We'll just unblock you, and now I'll just fucking remove you. How do you like them apples, fuckhead? Who else is blocked? Let's unblock this dickhead. Can I unblock him? No. Now how do I remove this twit? Well, I got a better idea. Fuck you, man. No, fuck you. Fuck you. I'm out of here. I'm out of here. Fuck that guy. Totally fuck that guy. I'm leaving the group. Bye. Bye-bye. I'm gone. I am fucking gone. Gone from there, and I'm gone from the other. No, I can't leave the other. How do we leave the other? Oh, fuck that guy. You know, no, goodbye. Goodbye. You're dead, dude. You're gone. You no longer exist, either one of you. I can't seem to remove myself from that conversation. Yeah, Doc, would you please remove me from that other last guy? I want nothing to do with any of those people. I'm out of there. I don't need to be played. I really don't need to be played by children. What pro? Oh, it's in Hangouts that's happening. I don't know. There was one called Hello and another one called Chill, I think, and I'm still in one of them because I had two people blocked and I couldn't get to the controls. The other one I'm out of. I'm out. I don't want anything to do with you people. No, the Discord here. Let me get you the link to the Discord. The Discord's good. We had an idiot in there, but I blocked her. Let's make sure that's the right one. Okay, for the general, here's the Discord server. There's the Discord server. We got my email is, you can hang out with me. It's hello. How'd that happen? And the phone is haven't had any idiots call tonight. I sort of missed that. We've only had idiots in chat. Yeah, that's what happened. Is that somebody there wasn't anybody paying attention, and somebody talked herself into getting mod status, and then uploaded some music bots in there, and just started blasting on my screen. And I didn't know where it was. I couldn't tell where it was coming from, so I just killed the whole thing. Let's see what I can't respond to at Facebook. If there's anything important. I doubt it. Let's see what they decided wasn't. Oh well, I suppose they. Let's see what the comment I wanted to report was. Yes, bids come into Dr. Z's Dr. Z's thread, and then just started fighting with everybody. Crazy. Some Dutch woman, some Dutch trans woman. What's that? National Petroleum Radio story? What's up with this? Right-wing hate groups are recruiting video gamers. Well, we already knew that. And that's last year already. They live in a virtual reality. But just total virtual reality. You know that there's no reset button to life, boys. You fuck up big time. No, no new body. You don't get to regenerate your body. Sorry. Wow. $100 billion industry. I quit. I'm in the wrong business. I'm in the wrong business. Oh, I don't doubt that one little bit. All of them are. Anywhere that you can get away with anything, they're gonna breed. You know, any place where they can that isn't gonna be moderated the way that Facebook or Twitter are. Any place they can get away with shit. That's why Reddit's so popular. Nobody monitors it. You know, I've got a Discord server, and so far I think I've tried KiWi, and there's nothing there. You know, all the guys who want to be friends were all fucking fetishists, and like there just wasn't any activity. The only, you know, there were all these weird guys wanting to be friends, but that was it. Yeah, there's nothing going on any of them. Facebook and Twitter, Instagram. You know, you can start a private party just about anywhere, but then, you know, why bother? You know, unfortunately, Facebook and Twitter are both like impossible for anybody who's like a dissident. You know, if you're a good little obedient wage slave, okay, fine. You know, go play with Twitter and Facebook. But if you're like a critical thinker, and it doesn't matter which, you know, you could be critically thinking on the right or the left. And, you know, it doesn't matter. If you're thinking too critically, you're gonna get fucked over in Facebook and Twitter. On the right or the left, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. They want everybody to be stupid. They don't want anybody thinking for themselves. They never have, and they never will. You know, George Carlin taught us that. They never have, and they never will. They want you stupid, thinking that you can one day, if you work hard enough, you will fulfill this American dream and you'll be a millionaire too. Well, now you can be a millionaire, and that doesn't mean fucking shit. Now you got to be a billionaire, and that ain't gonna happen unless you like really win a birth lottery or exploit your workers big time. Well, yes and no. I'm blocked at Facebook right at the moment until Monday. I have 2 accounts. Tommy Jane and TJ Wasserberg are both me. Tommy Jane's public and TJ is private, and they're both blocked at the moment. So I'm here. That's how I'm streaming more this week because I got nothing better to do. I traded in everything: TV, radio, magazines, everything on the internet. 1999. So anything I want is on the internet now, except a lawyer and a trans guy that's like physically capable of fucking the shit out of me. I haven't met that guy yet. And I haven't met a lawyer that like will take my case for less than $10,000, which I don't have. But other than that, anything I want's on the internet. I have friends all over the world. It's wonderful people, mostly artists and educators, and you know, professional people who have real skills and real jobs, or else are self-employed. And it could well be, certainly for me, if this works out with the server of Discord, if we can make that work between here and there, that'd be good. Because Facebook, I don't know. I really need to concentrate on selling my stone at Facebook, and I keep getting dragged into politics, and I'm so stupid. I should have known. I should have disengaged from this woman after the first try, but I didn't, and it just got worse, and I ended up getting blocked, and it was my own fault. Twitter won't let me have an account. I was too hard on the Zionists. Hello, Texas. How are you today? Twitter didn't like the way I was treating the Zionists one little bit. I was just making them look too stupid, and I was being polite, but they still wouldn't let me have an account. Simplements. Around here, there's a lot of gender variant people in my audience. I'm not a guy, and a lot of people just don't be assuming up front that somebody's a brother or a sister. There are a lot of people that just don't, you know, you want to check first before you call somebody brother or sister or something. I'm a girl. And I'm not even sure what M kind is. You know, in today's day, progressive straight people have picked up on the LGBTQ etiquette about introductions. when you come on the scene, it's like, hi, I'm so and so, and I identify as straight, gay, trans, whatever. Any one of 64 million different selections on the LGBT among the alphabet people. We want to find out what letter of the alphabet this person is identifying as, and how they like to be addressed up front when you come into a group. That's the way to do it nowadays. You're trans male, really? How old are you? Oh, and are you single and looking? I'm sorry. I mean, that's the only thing missing from my life. That's cool. I mean, you're a little young. Oh well. Do you guys do threesomes? Do you know any older trans men? No, you didn't. I was just kind of like sharing with you what was going on here. You didn't know. You just kind of come in, and it's easy to mistake me for a man because my presentation's real gender neutral. And you know, I'm not your typical tranny. You know, these people are like making all this noise about. I'm not like that. I'm just a trans masculine or trans feminine person. Living with what I was born with. I'm not getting any surgeries at all. And I'd probably dress more femmy if I had hair that I could style. So I don't. You know, I'm me. I got nice boobs, so most people see me as female when I'm in person. And if you spend any time with me, my energy is female. I don't have male energy. I don't want the male energy out at all anymore. Oh. You really gotta. No, I'm a two-spirit. You know, I really am. I lived as a man for 60 years. I had to live as a man. And I'm just getting used to myself. No, I'm just finally you know, I'm only 5 years old in trans years, 6 years. I'm going on 6, and I'm just finding myself as far as that. My I had a session with my shrink today, and we were working on medical necessity letter for some procedures. We want to get hair replacement, hair removal, and a little like shift the fat with some liposuction. I did my cooking last night. I made this wonderful cauliflower salad. I'm still eating on it, and I put up a quart of roasted red peppers. Mm-hmm. I don't know if I don't know. I added a little sugar and salt to the mix this time, and I don't know if I like that flavor. I also sprinkled them with garlic. I'm not sure about that either. I just love I love the flavor of them just cooked straight up and put into some vinegar with olive oil, and yummy. Boy, I had a rib the other day. Somebody left me in a white box. No, this wasn't even. This was somebody came and handed me some leftovers. It was ribs with some macaroni and cheese that had all kind of bacon or something in it. But the rib was, and it was a pork rib. It was the biggest damn pork rib I had. It was almost as big as a beef rib. Big old pork rib, and the meat just fell right off of it. Molasses and cornbread. I never could go for cornbread too much. I have molasses in the house. I scored half of a gallon on the trash a while ago. Yep, 420. Light them up. This week we got. Well, that's all I ever get is right now. This time of year, I'm happy to have it. There are some places you can't. Nice sensimilla from Mexico. Hasn't been pressed. You know, the buds are still pretty, like, you know, they're not all compressed. Buds are still pretty, well, these are tight. That's $35 for a half ounce. I love the stuff. It's really good. Lasts me almost a whole week, and I smoke a lot. Oh, that would be interesting. That would be interesting. I don't do like the fried chicken much because I don't like have the right stuff for it and all that oil. I don't know what to do. You know, what am I gonna do with all that oil after I fry chicken? um, I never seem to be able. You know, I could make a nice crust on a chicken. You know, a little coating on chicken and roast it. That comes out for me. I mean, fried chicken on it, it never works for me. Cause what am I gonna? You know, it's all that oil. So you know, I gotta use all that oil, and then you gotta do something with the oil after you're done. And that just doesn't work for me. I roast my chickens. I broil them, bake them. I'll let somebody else do the frying. We had a black nanny, boy, when she made the fried chicken. Ooh, and my grandmother's nanny was even better. She made the most amazing fried chicken. Real thin crust. You know, just the yeah, that's really good. I like that. That is good. The best turkey I ever had though was slow baked. It was low temperature baked for like 12 or 15 hours or something at 180 degrees. It was short, you know, and just slowly cooked for many hours, and it was the juiciest thing I ever had. The fried turkey comes out real juicy too. That's getting to be that kind of time of year, isn't it? Cane sauce. I've never heard of that one. Let's look it up. Cane's copycat cane sauce. Oh, okay. Yeah, I think I've seen that. Um, that's from a particular chicken place. It's their signature sauce. And let's see what's in it. No, I've seen the orange sauce for dipping sauce in the trash. I don't go in those places very often. Why bother? And it helps my diet when I only have a partial portion from the garbage rather than going inside. Besides costing money, it also is like way more than I should be eating. Okay, so what is cane sauce made of? It's a secret recipe. We never did anything quite like this. Mayo, ketchup, Worcestershire sauce, black pepper, and garlic powder. That probably works too. I do a ketchup and mayo with lemon juice and relish and black pepper and garlic for a Thousand Island, and I do ketchup with horseradish and that's my favorite. That's one of my comfort foods. Is shrimps with cocktail sauce. I just put way too much horseradish in it. Ketchup and horseradish and lime juice. But I bet with the Worcestershire sauce that works. That works. I'll have to try that soon. What's a small cup? It's a small cup. Here's a small. No. This, you mean? This is a half gallon or 48 ounces or something. And it gets filled like 3 times a day. You have to drink a lot of water in this town or you'll die. Just, you know, it just, you'll start feeling like stupid. And you just feel more and more stupid until you fall over and die. You just drink water. You got to keep drinking water in this town. I really don't want to be logged into this shit. Log me out of here. I like the one I can lurk. I don't want to. Oh, no one will even let me log out now. I'll probably just leave it. Yeah, it does. So, what do we want to talk about? The main topic seems to be always come back to solidarity versus purity. Everybody's an individual, and there's no rule book for being queer. And we need to just like accept everybody's whatever, as long as it's not harming anybody, obviously, against their will. Leave it alone. If you ever got something nice to say about it, don't say anything. So we need the solidarity more than we need like to educate each other. That's for sure. You know, go preach your purity at the allies that you're alienating. That Dave Chappell's like in big trouble. He's got the woke. What do they call it? Woke scolding. He's getting woke scolded but and they don't realize that they're alienating people. That, you know, here I am seeing that queer families are finally forming around their queer children or queer parents, and it's cool. And the neighbors are accepting it, and it's cool. And that's the direction we need to go, is this peace and love and understanding between straight and queer people. We can't be fighting about it with each other. That's not productive. It's like we need to like participate in the legislative process and protect ourselves from the hate legislation and get the Equality Act passed. We need to party more with straight people. Invite them to our parties. Don't be all fucking judgmental on them, you know. Don't be like shaming them. You know, the Native Americans saw this years ago. The elders saw years ago that there was no way you're going to heal all of these old wounds if you're going to like hate on all white people that for something that somebody else's ancestors did hundreds of years ago to your ancestors. You need to be living in the here and now with the, you know, the natives and the white people got to learn to get along, and, you know, build on, you know, the native nations. Every single, there were over 500 native nations here when Columbus first landed, and they all had their own language. And I don't know what's left now, but they have been granted their sovereignty. They are recognized by the United Nations as sovereign states. And the United States, you know, a lot of our public lands that Trump is wanting to auction off are really being held in trust under treaty. They don't belong to the United States. They belong to the native nations. So that these lands that he's trying to sell. Yeah, but get back to my point is that we need to like let go of the past and not be blaming people for things that were happened that weren't any that had nothing to do with them. Yes, we need to like short circuit a lot of institutionalized across many generations aberrations in our society that alpha males have imposed on it to be kind about it. Certain practices that just need to stop. A lot of practices need to stop. We need to, you know, there needs to be more positive reinforcement. You know, people we're fear conditioned too much. We're fear conditioned from birth, and that is the fundamental flaw in our society that we need to heal. Is that we need to not be teaching by inflicting pain. We need to teach with pleasure. It needs to be joy in learning. And it's not there anymore. And you know, it hardly was there when I was a kid. And they're teaching them all the wrong things. They're teaching them, you know, about authoritarianism and that you know they're rationalizing authoritarianism into the democratic system, and these people are sucking it up. You know, they want those people to fight. That's why I keep, you know, they're not. If you're watching close enough, and the people who are bitching about Facebook and Twitter censoring them, it's pretty equal between like the extremists. You know, the more extreme to the left or the right you are, the more likely you are to get fucked over by Facebook and Twitter. They want us all cluster fucked. They want us totally cluster fucked. They want us to fight with each other because then we won't like. There will be no solidarity, and without solidarity, you know, the people united will never be defeated. You know that chant as well. My new chant's like, the people deceived will never be united. We're being lied to. We're believing lies, and everybody's running around with Dunning-Kruger effect, where they totally overestimated their own competence and completely discount the competence of real authorities on any subject. It doesn't matter. Whatever they've had stuffed into their head with their little gadgets, man, it's all shit stuffed in their head, and they don't know how to think about it. They just have it stuffed in their head, and it comes puking back out. I quit. I'm through ranting. Somebody else rant. Somebody want to come on talk live? Anybody want to talk live? Come on live at Discord. I'll watch the server rather than this chat and make sure and Donald's here. He can watch this chat and I'll watch the server chat. If somebody wants to come on live. You're not a high enough rank of what? I'd like to have a 22-year-old trans. Are you in a relationship with a trans man or something else? Are you with a trans woman? You're not a high enough rank in Discord. What do you mean? I don't understand. I don't know you need rank in Discord on that server. You just kind of, here's the invite, and if you want to go, well, you can also, if you want to, you know, you can add me to, oh, looky there. I can unblock them long enough to remove them. Why can't I remove that? Why don't I just leave it? Why can't I remove these people? Huh. We'll just archive that bitch. Why am I unable to remove anybody from that? Or myself? I don't even see myself in it. Huh. Huh. I gotta block those assholes. The guy's calling me a fucking kike faggot, and he wants me to unblock him. You gotta be kidding. Yeah. You can come on. Do you have a Gmail account? Just go to my Gmail and add me to Hangouts. Gmail is easier. Tommy's cooking. I like to make sauces, lots of different sauces. I like to mess with sauce, and I like to use a whole lot, way too much garlic and ginger and stuff like that for the nutritional value. I don't bake much. I don't know why. I just don't. I make salads. I make a groovy sandwich. Nice salads. Omelets. I do a lot of omelets. And at curries. I like to mess with curry. Get the coconut milk out and the curry powder and put a bunch of different stuff in there. Hello, MS. Happy day. What else? Yeah, I'm not that, I don't do the baking. I never did much baking. When I was a kid, I used to like ice cream cake. We'd get an ice cream cake from Baskin and Robbins when I was a kid. And then we had here's for Hangouts. If you want to come on talk on camera, we can do that at Hangouts. I haven't done much of that. I have a friend who's like, that's his thing. He's like a real baker. He's pretty wild. He's cool. He's way cool. Carvel, no. Carvel was in Milwaukee. I was in Chicago. There was these Greeks that had a grocery store, had an IGA in our neighborhood, and one of them started a, oh, I see. Oh, I see what you're saying. In my neighborhood, we had Greeks. We had the Baskin and Robbins, and then a Greek guy opened up his own place. Oh, let's see if anything's going on there. we got rid of that. That's gone. That didn't work. Nothing going on there because I'm blocked. Let's just close all this. I got whole way too many of these open. And okay, here's an interesting page. This is a sister who's just recently appeared. She's been out for a while. She's been transitioning for about 8 years. But she's just recently started getting real vocal. And she got herself a domain called transgenderfacts.org. And here's a page, facts about being gender variant. And all her sources are cited, and she last updated this February 1st of this year. Fact 1, being gender variant has proven not to be a mental disorder. In fact, it is a common misconception that gender dysphoria is the diagnosis for being transgender, but that couldn't be furthest from the truth. Gender dysphoria is a stress, anxiety, and depression that is felt from living in a society that mostly rebuts and disrespects your identity and existence and expects you to change in order to appease their unacceptable expectation for people who are transgender to conform. Okay. Do we need to repeat that? I've thought about that a lot in the last 6 years. It's what my life would have been like if I had been allowed when I was 3 to not get that buzz cut that changed my life. I was 3 and going on 4. People ask, when did you know you were transgender? I know the date and time. It was August 2nd, 1958 at about 3 in the afternoon when they dragged me out to take me to the barbershop and have my hair shaved off when I thought I was going to get curled. I thought I was getting my cousin's pink dress handed down to me, and they put me in a little silly sailor suit. It took them a week to shut me up, crying so much. It's like, no, girls don't have penises, and boys only cry when they're bleeding. If you need something to cry about, I'll be glad to beat the crap out of you. So I shut up. But then when I got big enough to fight back, now I was mentally ill. So I had to fight the mental, the psych authorities all my life. And when they couldn't, when I was in places, when I was occupying space in places where the authorities didn't want me to be, but they really had no way to get rid of me except to arrest me for some bullshit. When they didn't have a criminal charge bullshit that they could arrest me for, they'd throw me on the nut house. So I couldn't. It's more than 100 and less than 200 total between the nut house and the jail. But yes, here I am, 65. I survived it, and and they're wrong, and everybody knows they're wrong, and have been wrong all along because there's so many other people like me that went through the same bullshit and lived through it, and are out on social networks, really stirring it up with the what's true and enduring. This was something that my rabbi really. That was a phrase that. Something that when I evaluate something that somebody's trying to tell me is true, I say, well, how long has it been true? I'm trained in the sciences. Just because it's true now doesn't mean it's always been true. Doesn't mean it always will be true. Just means that no exceptions have come up to that rule yet. So this is a good rule. Because it has been shown that being transgender is not a mental disorder. The mental problems come from the rejection and the institutionalized discrimination is where the behavioral health issues arise. So, gender variant fact 2. Brain mapping technology has proved that being transgender is 100% biologically, factually, naturally occurring, which alone destroys the myth that being gender variant is a mental disorder. And this is something one might not learn if they rely on incomplete high school education in biology and genetics. A high school education alone in biology and genetics paints an incomplete picture of how the world works, which is why it's important to finish your biology education by going to college. You're still not going to run into the understanding of sex and gender until you get into the upper levels. Maybe now it's better, but 40 years ago, no. Gender variant fact 3. That's the same as fact 2. We should probably let her know. Fact 2 and fact 3 are the same thing. So let's move on to fact 4. Neuroscience proves that gender exists on a spectrum, used to classify something or suggests that it can be classified in terms of its position on a scale between two extreme or opposite points, meaning gender isn't as simple or clear-cut as people traditionally believe. This also proves that the gender non-binary folks are as well valid. The only thing binary about human sex and gender is the gametes. Everything else, and even within the gametes, you have like chromosomal variations, and then in the genitals and secondary sex characteristics, you're going to have way too much. It's not one or the other. It just doesn't work that way. And everybody's got some element of both sexes in them because there's no such thing as a completely male or female brain that they've been able to identify. There are certain structures within the brain that affect certain gendered behaviors that they've identified, but no completely male or completely female brain. As I was saying about brain mapping, there's a lot of variation. There's some stuff that's female and some stuff that's male, and it all comes together the way the individual sees themselves. Now, not the way that society's telling you that you're supposed to be presenting yourself. It's how do I look at me and want to dress me and behave me in the world. And don't tell me I have to, I had to walk pigeon-toed for 6 months to get the swish out of my butt because they were kicking me. I had to totally suppress my female nature as best I could for 60 years. I don't know how I did it. I really don't know how I did it. And thanks for seeing me as me and accepting me as me and loving me for what I am and doing. So anyway, moving right along. Being intersex is proven to be genetically naturally occurring, and being intersex comes in many genetic variations. Gender and sex variant people, animals, as well as sex variant intersex plants have existed since the beginning of time. This is nothing new. People haven't been open about themselves and being gender and sex variant until more recently due to mass ridicule for being born and simply being born a certain way. We do not ask to be born. Our parents decide to have sex and bring us here. We are here by choice. It isn't anybody's fault that we are the way we are. Facts prove this. So there isn't any good reason to condemn us except sheer ignorance. We're born this way. We're all born this way. And the Creator intentionally makes us all flawed. And we all have our own unique fuck up. Everybody's fucked up in their own special way. So gender fact 6. Violence, prejudice, and disrespect of the gender variant community is the leading cause for the 41% attempted suicide rate. Society's insistence that people who are gender variant conform in order to be accepted is the cause of gender dysphoria, according to the testimonies of a great many transgender folks. Well, that don't count. We need the doctors, and they'll say the same thing. Fact is, science proves that there is such a thing as a woman with a penis and a man with a vagina. However, due to centuries of massive misinformation being circulated, and also due to society mostly having an incomplete education in biology and genetics, gender variant people get persecuted for no good reason. And when pretty much every time you walk out the door and you're stared at, pointed at, laughed at, harassed at, inflicted with violence, it is understandable how living in a world with people who do nothing but treat you negatively might make you feel like giving up. Now, see here, this is where I kind of am questioning. Where the fuck is that still happening for real in America? It shouldn't. Every place in America, every state in America has a queer-friendly town or a neighborhood in a big queer-friendly city. Everywhere, including the red states, where you can walk out the door and not have that shit happen to you. So if you are somewhere where that shit's happening to you every single day, something's wrong. And I happen to know people that are in situations like that where they're stuck and they can't move for one reason or another. So gender variant fact 7. Okay, this is interesting. That's clear. There's a big fight over the gatekeeping. But you have to have gender dysphoria to be like properly written off as transgender. You can't go to someone and say, yeah, I'm female and I need to do this. I need to get all this shit rearranged. You can't just walk in there like that. They don't go for that. And I mean, unless you have $250,000 like Caitlyn Jenner, you can't do that. And gatekeeping is a big conflict there. You know, the people who do suffer from gender dysphoria real bad need it to be able to get the procedures insured. They have to prove medical necessity, or else the insurance companies will look at it as cosmetic. You just walk in and say, "Oh yeah, I don't like my penis. I want to get rid of it." They're not going to go for that so easy and cover it with the insurance, because they'll call that cosmetic. There has to be a medical necessity, and so they need to have the diagnosis of gender dysphoria. So big flash over that, because not all transgender people suffer dysphoria. And she's going to go into the XX and XY and all the variations, all that happy shit. But it really shouldn't be hard to understand, without getting into all that shit, that everybody's unique, that masculinity and femininity appear on a sliding scale, not one or the other, that you have a whole range of gender variants from all the way from the extreme of, you know, hyper-masculine male, cis male, hyper-masculine, hyper-feminine, cis female, from that extreme to the true hermaphrodite on the other end, to where they have like both. And then there's variations on that, which is all the what they used to call DSDs, or it used to be called disorders of sexual development. Then to tone that down, they changed it to differences. And now they're just trying to say, hey, fuck that. It's intersex and it's not pathological. But there are some that do need some help, like hypospadias. You know, things where things are malformed to where they're not working properly. You know, blind vaginas and things, all sorts of, you know, people born without anything at all. So, you know, no vagina at all. Nothing down there except a pee hole. And So all kinds of stuff happens, and you know, it's a whole spectrum. And you know, and you do have to get past high school biology, and you know, high school level biology does not like tell you what's really going on there. Sex and gender are not, you know, gender is not dependent on sex. Gender can be totally opposite to sex. Gender could be like, I don't want anything to do with either gender, and gender could be bigender. You know, it could be, a person can be comfortable, can be equally comfortable in either gender role. So, you know, it's not one or the other. This only two genders thing is bullshit. Ancient Hebrew literature had 6, including one that was the same as a transsexual, where it was a man who was turned into a woman by the act of man. And really what hello?
Mr. Tudor, I'm outside.
Oh, he called from a number. We need to block that bitch. I wonder why that did that. So she got a bunch of 24/7 pride. Sister's name's Aileen Everlast. She's out of Southern California, I think San Diego. But really, you know, most trans people I've spoken to from about this treatment, the way we're treated in the street, Tucson is exemplary. There's not many places that are as trans friendly as Tucson, but there are plenty of places that are accepting and safe to live in. Other, you know, that are as you know, Tucson doesn't usually even rate in the top 10 because they'll usually put Bisbee in front of us, and Asheville and places like that. But in any place where it's not like totally dominated by insane armed and inbred religious fanatics, queers are mostly like at least tolerated now. There's not so much open hostility, except from what I'm gathering. I don't live in the ghetto, and I don't know how queers in the ghetto are treated, but apparently queers in the ghetto are treated much worse than queers outside. You know, I mean, in comparison, ghetto queers got a really bad life. I mean, most of the Black women killed this year were ghetto women. I haven't watched as closely as in years past. Which of them are like probably? There's a lot of drugs and prostitution. And that's one of the reasons they don't prosecute them as hate crimes very often, because it's just like they're going to have a hard enough time proving the case without the added burden of proving that it was a sex crime or was a hate crime too. So because there was, you know, there'd be prostitution and drugs and spouses, you know, I think most often in America, I mean, this is not true in other places like Brazil, forget it. The sex workers, forget it. It's like open season down there. Mexico and Brazil, places like that. Baltimore was real bad. I don't know. Baltimore's pretty bad, just bad, just for everybody. Um, Baltimore is like the murder capital of America right now, I think. Um, the Most of the people I talk to, that are like privileged, and they're mostly white, but there are people of color and Orientals especially. I know quite a few Oriental trans people. Oh boy, that must have been tough. I Since one of the reasons I lived behind the beard so long is I just couldn't see how I could be myself without being able to shave and keep clean. I just hid behind the beard until I was settled and found a place where I could do it. I couldn't do it in the street. Or on the road. It just didn't make sense because I couldn't keep clean enough. So when I finally got here, immediately gone, and then here I am. I'm glad I did it. I really am. So I'm connecting to people that I never was able to connect to before. A lot of old friends, strengthened the relationships because they knew I'd been hiding something all those years, and oh, okay, now we understand. And good night, Militant. Happy day, man. I'm probably gonna quit it too soon. I don't know. I don't get to kick back with, um I'm happy. I'm happy to be a part of this community that's grown in the last, I've been part of the growth of the community, watched it grow all my life. I've watched this. And then all of a sudden, 1999, when the internet opened up, yeah, Detroit can be real bad too. And yes, Michigan, like Ann Arbor, for instance. Any place the hippies were, the queers were cool too. All the places that are hippie meccas, places like Ann Arbor, Madison. Like Madison has one of the highest populations of lesbians per capita in Madtown, Wisconsin. Asheville is a big hippie and queer. Any place the hippies are, the queers are cool too. And there's Tucson's a hippie town. Eugene, Oregon is probably real good for queers because that's a big hippie town. Portland's fucked up for everybody. I have some hemp activists. The guy who does the Portland Hemp Fest used to work with Benny Maisel in Wisconsin. Steve Wessing. Seattle's tough, but there's a strong community there. The whole Northwest, Seattle, Portland, Vancouver, there's a lot of reactionary shit going on. There's a lot of ultra right and ultra left clashes there. The trans people were mixing it up in Vancouver, I think it was, with the TERFs real bad, and there was some book burnings by the trans people. It's just scary times. Come purity versus solidarity. We need to be more accepting. We need to understand that nobody speaks for everybody else. Everybody only can speak for yourself and for people who've handed you a proxy, who actually expressly asked you to speak for them. Otherwise, you met one trans person, you've only met one trans person. There's no rule book. And we need to be kind to each other. We need to accept each other. Nobody's transition invalidates anybody else's. You don't have to transition. If you want to express as male one day and female another day, it's cool. If you want people to call you it, it's cool. I have a genderqueer friend. When I first met, he was like, he's back to he now. He decided, okay, I'm gonna be a guy for a while. But when he was flitting back and forth there, and it's like, just call me it. Just refer to me as it. But it never made sense to me because, like, I knew young. I experienced it young enough. I saw it in my life the difference between being careful about what I said or did to other people, and in terms of like, do I want somebody to say or do this to me? As long as I kept that in mind, things are cool. Anytime I'm not, when something go wrong, it was usually because of my big mouth saying the wrong thing. It just comes back down to being kind to each other. There's nothing. It's easy. It's so easy. You don't have to be thinking about. I think George Carlin went off on a rant one time about the Ten Commandments being kind of like a waste, because if you just follow that one to treat everybody like you want to be treated yourself, you don't break any. You uphold all the ones that you're supposed to do, and you don't break any of the ones you're not supposed to do. I hardly ever push anybody to read any Bible at all, except for Deuteronomy 6, because that's the watchword of the Hebrew faith. That is what the people of this planet who have lived according to the true faith, the all one God faith, that we're part of it and we're at the pinnacle of it and we're supposed to be taking care of the rest of it. That attitude, the watchwords, the whole of the Hebrew faith is contained in just 3 chapters there, 6, 7, and 8. And it lays out real clearly, this is the way it is. This is what God wants. And this is what you'll get if you obey God. And this is what will happen if you don't. That's Deuteronomy 6, 7, and 8. You don't have to pay any attention to any of the rest of the Bible. Right there, in those 3 chapters, it's going to tell you what it is. That we need to love God and love everything around us with all every fiber of our being, every waking moment of our life. And he goes into, and he talks about, and you bind them on your hands and between your eyes and on the doorpost and all that. These are little ritual things that you're supposed to do to remember to be living this way. And that's doctrinal religion has been a blight on the planet. That ceremonial ways of life, doctrine, it's got all these fucking rules, right? But it's missing I don't know. Okay, well, yeah, paganism isn't all that different from what I'm saying. Is that there's a certain connectedness to all of it that people of faith, true faith, and practice can achieve. That state of nirvana, or the what's it called, satori. The Christians call it indwelling of the Holy Spirit. The Jews call it Ruach HaKodesh, or the Holy Wind. You can get there on your own by the practice of the religion, not by the obedience to some rules. It's a ritual, and it's a lifestyle. It's a way of going. It's a way of ordering your life. There are little tiny prayers that are said for everything. When you set out for a journey, there's a little prayer you say. When you come home, there's a little prayer you say. There's different prayers for all the different things you eat or drink. And it's this, the cycles. Everything cycles. That you're going, the sun rises and sets, and the moon goes through its phases in a month, and there's cycles of months that are a year, and that's cycles. Everything cycles. And that's the religious life, not a bunch of fucking dogma. And not Christianity. I don't know what to say about it other than, wow, it's really made a mess of this world. and none of it that, well, I won't say none of it, but most of it is completely diametrically opposed to what Jesus himself was saying. Oh, I think I'm gonna quit it soon myself. I didn't really eat much today, and I'd like to sit down and have some food before I go to bed. And it's a weird night. It was a weird night, but thanks for being here, all you guys that are cool. And we got rid of some more idiots. We blocked some bullshit out. We're gonna see a lot of that. Yeah. Oh, I'm so fat. Are you kidding? I'm trying to lose weight. I ate. I just haven't eaten in a few hours, and I don't like to eat too close to going to bed. Well, I had food this morning, and I had some at noon hour. I just haven't had any, dinner yet. So I'm good. I'm good. But anyway, I think I'm gonna cut out. It's time for me to go eat something. And thank you guys for coming, and see you next time. I'm gonna be here pretty much every night, at least until Monday. In some way or another. I don't know. Happy day. God bless. Bye-bye.